Warning. Due to being played on an emulator and just being, well, Harmony of Dissonance, this LP will contain multiple instances of background and foreground images that flash, flicker, or both, or are just incredibly bright and garish. I will try to give warning of the most egregious areas via the subtitles, but in case I slip, please be aware of the possibility if you are visually sensitive. Hey guys, Penna Daily here, and welcome to my newest Let's Play, which, as you can see from either this screen or the title, is Castlevania, Harmony of Dissonance. Well, you can see that if you're any good at mirror writing. So the bats fly up into the sky, the bright pink sky. Yes, Castlevania, Harmony of Dissonance. And it is a little dissonant. So, let's see here. Right. We'll delete that. I'd forgotten. That was just a test file, so now we'll go back and select data. And I have more than one test file. It's just a thing for recordings. Okay, so we call it pen. Okay. 50 years have passed since Simon Belmont vanquished the curse of Dracula. Fate has dictated that Juste Belmont, blood descendant of the Belmont family, hunt for the relics of Dracula. One day, Juste's best friend, Maxim, who had set out on a training expedition 2 years earlier, returned unexpectedly, his body covered with wounds. He informs Juste that Lydie, a childhood friend whom they both deeply care about, has been kidnapped. Maxim has completely lost his memory of his time training away from home, and only has vague images of the kidnapping. Ignoring his bodily injuries, Maxim leads Juste to the place where he believes Lydie is being held captive. Passing through thick fog, the two men happen upon a castle, undocumented on any map. Could this be the fabled Dracula's castle? Given the game series, I'm gonna go with yes. Standing solemnly in the night, this forbidding castle welcomes its unexpected guests as the moonlight shines upon it. The bright orange moon in a really reddish sky. Castlevania, Harmony of Dissonance. And then we hit start. So you truly believe that Lydie was brought to this castle? My memory fails me, but this seems to be the place. Don't you believe me? I know better than anyone that you are not the type to lie. Juste. Are you all right? I'm fine. It's Lydie you should be concerned about, not me. Go on ahead. I'll be right behind you. You have my word. Okay then. I'll see you inside. And so the rain stops, for whatever reason. Okay. And the lightning strikes. And G. A large lump of metal right in the middle of the drawbridge. It's moving. Shock. Yeah. If you didn't see that coming, you have never played a Castlevania game. Anyway, so we amble along at the speed of the scrolling screen. Don't worry, that thing can't catch you. No, you can't hurt it. You can't do really anything except just keep running. And then, of course, you can see right there in the background the rest of Castlevania, which is a little odd given that what we're looking at ought to be the outer wall. But whatever. So here we have the entrance. And there we have a peeping eye. Because, ever since Castlevania Chronicles, there have been peeping eyes. So we're coming this way first and foremost. We come up here, and we get leather boots, which we will equip. Right now, the only things we have are Juste's bracelet, which does absolutely nothing. But the boots give us a little defense, which is nice. So we kill these guys. And we get the fist sub-weapon. Now, in most Castlevania games, the fist is but in this one, at least to start with, it's very useful. So we're going to keep it. And as you can see, the soul orb that we got, which is a relic, allows us to see the amount of damage we inflict. So we come down here, and there's a bunch of zombies. And of course, in this game, you can dash with the shoulder buttons, left and right. And that has broken many a shoulder button on a GBA. So if you're playing this on an emulator or, on the Wii U, which is technically an emulator, you might want to be sure to set the dash buttons to something a little more robust. Like, I've got it set to trigger buttons rather than shoulder buttons on my Xbox 360 controller. Because you need to dash. It's not just that it's faster, although it is, and you will pretty much wind up doing that to get around no matter what. But almost every enemy in this game is set up to be dealt with using the dash. Enemies have tells that will tell you when they're going to attack you, and you dash back out of the way. If you get really, really good, you can avoid taking 90% of the damage. I'm not nearly that good, but hey. So, we fight these guys. They're skeletons. That's kind of obvious. They throw bones. They're skeletons, and they do as skeletons have been doing. I think these guys are called field armor. I'm not sure. They are basically the hill guards from Symphony of the Night. And they're your first enemy that has a real tell and has to be fought, using the dash, if at all possible. So, of course, we dash. Now, the left shoulder button, or in this case, left trigger, you will dash left. Right trigger, you will dash right. It doesn't matter which way you're facing. If you're facing... Yeah, see? I'm dashing left. If I was facing left, it would be a forward dash. But I would still go left regardless. And here we have our first save point, which of course looks like the one from Symphony of the Night. Except, there's a bit more color here. So we come across here. Now, as I said, the colors in this game are really, really bright. We're not going up there. There's really not much we can do down there just yet. So we come through here, and now we are in the Marble Corridor, which was an area in Symphony of the Night. Yeah, this game really, really wants to be Symphony of the Night. Juste is even physically, based on Alucard. Which is about the only way he's like Alucard. But yeah, okay, so... Halt. The color of your soul. You mean blue? You must be a Belmont. That is correct. This overwhelming power. Death? Indeed. Which means this is, in fact, Dracula's castle. That might be true, though the power that is here is not my lord's. What do you mean? I must go now. We shall meet again, son of Belmont. Urgh, he got away. Yeah, as I was saying, Juste may look like Alucard, but that's about all they have in common. Juste is ridiculously hot-blooded, which is sort of funny, really, when you consider. Anyway, so we head up. So, yeah, you see how he raises his spear above his head? When he does that, he's going to lunge. When he spins it, he's invincible. So, if you don't think you can kill him before he lunges, that's when you backdash out of the way. So we come up here, and we find our first box-pushing puzzle. There will be more. Oh, there will be more. This one is basically just to let you know that, hey, there are boxes, you can push them, and you can use them as steps to get up higher. Which I think every box puzzle in this game except one is actually about. Ugh. You are beginning to irk me, dude. Yeah. The problem with these guys is there's simply not enough room on the ledge to get up and attack him. This way, on the other hand, I can get up and in. So, watch him. Yep. Yeah, right now I can kill him in 3 shots, so as long as I'm careful, I don't really have to worry about him lunging for the most part. And here we get our first spell book. So, I'll show off, and a heart maxim, of course. yeah, that is the fist weapon. It's sort of like the Kaiser knuckle weapon that Soma has. But if we equip a spell book, and here we have that will do. Yeah, that's the Ice Fist, and that uses magic instead of... Sorry, that uses magic instead of hearts, and magic regenerates, so you'll probably want to use magic a lot more than you will straight sub-weapons. When you have more than one spell book, because there are more than one spell book in the game, you can switch through them by pressing up and left. But you can't seem to turn it off that way. I know there is a way to turn it off without going in, but I'm not sure what it is just now yet. I'll have to look that up. So we finish up with that, kill all of those guys, move along. Let's see here. And we check our map again. So we're gonna head... We don't want to head down. There is nothing for us down until much later. As for the... Sorry, the bit I thought we hadn't filled in is actually in this room, so that's fine. So we come along here. We're going to keep the Ice Fist because it's useful. Boy, is it useful. And of course we have the Flea Man. Oh, another good thing about Juste's weapon is that you see how his... how the whip goes up and over his head? It will hit things in that state. It doesn't only hit out in front of you. That's a boss. We're not going to fight that boss just yet. Instead, we're going to come here and save. First of all, yeah, I don't know why that first one has blue lettering, and these ones have green, but it does. Now, if we go up, we'll come to a place that we can't do anything because we need to slide. So we're going to ignore that for now. We're going to come this way. Ouch. Stupid Medusa heads. And we get the leather gloves. So let's equip those too. And that's pretty nice. Ow. And now we come into this room. And as you can see, we can go back into the boss room from, that first boss is actually completely skippable. There are a fair amount of bosses in this game that can basically be skipped in one way or another. Either you just don't get what they guard, or you can in fact go around them. But we got the red stone, which adds fire typing to our attacks. And if an enemy's weak against fire, you do more damage anyway, just because it adds strength. But then, of course, there will be more attack types. So we're going to come back and fight that boss later. With these guys, of course, you hit them, you see them pull their sword back, that's when you backdash. So first we come this way and we kill the flea men. Yep. Everybody hates flea men. So, as I was saying, with this game, they really, really went all out, to try and fix the mistakes of, fix the mistakes for Circle of the Moon. Okay. Now, here we're going to show you one of the things that the Ice Fist can do. Right. So, do that. Ah, dang it. Okay. You're really supposed to come back here when you've got a bit later, but if we do this right... Dang it. Yeah. Yeah, that's up and... There we go, see? The Ice Fist just pulls you forward. But that's not really what we came up here for, though that's really nice. This way we don't have to come back here once we get the double jump. Then there's this, which they really expect you to come back here once you get the double jump. This right here is something you're not technically supposed to see until much later. But if we do this, I'm doing some jumps just to get the range. So if you jump like this, and then jump like this, and at the top of your jump, use the Ice Fist. I need to stop hitting A. Yeah, you've got to be a little farther forward. So, there. And we get Vlad's ring. Yeah, let's check the relics. So we go all the way down. You can see we weren't supposed to get this until much later. One of Dracula's worldly possessions increases luck, which is nice. I mean, because, you know, that'll get you rare drops and stuff, and luck is very nice. But, so we head on a little farther. Ow. Okay, let's try this again. So, really, that is the only thing I really use the Ice Fist for. The Ice Fist isn't a bad weapon, it's just not really my style. So I will probably, now that I don't need that anymore, I'm going to get the Ice Book. Now, at the end of here, there is, oh crap, that's the dagger, and that is a victory armor, and I'm not ready to face something like that. Ow, really? Especially not, you know, that I'm doing, if you are good, you can fight a victory armor at this level and win, but you have to be much better at dodging in and out than I am at the moment. I'm a little out of practice just because I've been not practicing. That's okay. Let's come down here too, and of course we can get the holy water. I don't want the holy water, and we get the fairy journal. That will tell us the name of whatever we fight. So, I'm going... Ow. This is our first episode, so of course I'm going to run. And of course you can tell that these are Medusa heads, not like you didn't know. And we kill the skeleton, and ow, you are beginning to irritate me. So we come through here. Fleamen and Medusa heads are two worst creatures, but these aren't actually that horrible if you're careful. They go right over you. So, like I said, it's the first episode. We'll go for a little length and at least fight this first boss. Let's see here. So, our first boss and a flea man. We go in here. And that's interesting. Yep. And there we go. Meet the giant bat. Yeah, he's a kind of ridiculously easy boss. Now, of course, now that I've said that, watch me, you know, get myrtleized by him. You know, just basically you hit him. Every 3 hits, he will turn into a cloud of bats. You know, occasionally, or 3 or 4 hits, I guess. Occasionally, he will attempt to turn himself into a drill and kill you that way. His aim is really, really horrible, so you can just keep thwacking him. I guess it's how much damage you do or something. I'm not really sure what... Ow. Try not to jump into him. But, you know, this is one of the few bosses that doesn't really have a tell. You know, you don't need one. He's ridiculously easy. But... yeah, so you just keep moving around. You can use these platforms to get a better shot at him when he goes up. And then just, you know, stay out of his way when he gets... Because that drill can actually hurt a lot. But it's pretty hard to be hit with it. Not impossible. I'm not going to mock you if you have trouble with him. But he's the first boss for a reason. So now I'm going to try and do this thing. Yeah, rats. Yeah, if you can hit that thing in a, bleh. If you hit that thing in a cool pose, you get it'll say something like good, or excellent, or cool. So, of course, I'm gonna try for that, but don't expect me to do too well. So, I think we will, you know, come through here, and... we'll get some stuff here and go to the next save point. Like I said, it's the first episode, so we'll go through here, go to the next save point, and then call it a day. So, we got the Monster Tome, and that's a large ghost. Yeah. So, if we check our relics, The monster tome allows the user to see the data of enemies he's met, and now we have an encyclopedia. So every enemy we have defeated goes on here. And you can see things like their drop, and where they were met, and, you know, what they're weak to, which can be pretty useful. So let's see. Now, there is, there's a bunch of stuff the other way, but we don't want to deal with that right now because we need another, we would need another item, really. Although, actually, since I've still got the Ice Fist, I might as well. You can use the Ice Fist if you go this way to do some awesome stuff. So, we come in here, and we get up here, and we get another potion. Potions are nice, and of course, Bone Pillar. Just, you know, if you gotta be careful when they open their mouth, backdash, because they'll either spit a gout of fire or a fireball at you. There's nothing up there. I mean, you can get experience from fighting them, but why bother? Nothing down here. Watch out for the bat. And yeah, this is this place, the Wailing Way. Yeah, like I said, people make a lot of jokes about the colors on this game, which, you know, they are a little garish. And there are some areas that are really, really bad. But I think for the most part, the color direction really isn't that horrible. I've seen a lot worse. And you have to remember, the last game, they tried to make it with a fairly normal Castlevania color palette, and it just looked horrible. So, you know, we've got all of this. But now, since we've got the Ice Fist, and we jump like this. Not quite. Jump. You get the Ice Fist again, because we don't want the axe. Easy, easy. Let's get back up there. And then, yeah. Dude, seriously? There we go. And now we're over here and can get Logos Ring, which is an equipable. And it increases the strength of the dagger. We really don't care. We're never going to use the dagger or the knife. You know, they have different names for it. But it does mean that we don't have to come back here, you know, later on. I mean, we could if we wanted to get up there, but as you can see, we don't have to for map completion. Those are fancy clothes, I think they're called, and they're not worth it really for protection or anything, so I think we'll probably just ignore them. We're still gonna have to come back here to the Wailing Way much later. Oh, and here is, you know, you can just hold your whip, you can hold your whip limp, and it will do damage to these things. I mean, it takes forever, but it's a way to kill them that, you know, you don't have to worry about trying to jump over them in a narrow passage. So it's a thing. And, you know, the stronger you get, the less of a pain in the neck doing that will be. So, we're going to follow this, come across here, watch out for that, jump up, and, yeah, ignore that. Okay, this would just take us back. So, if we just go this way, rock armor really aren't that difficult to deal with. You can just hit them, and then we get a silk cloak, which cloaks basically give you a little extra defense. So, since the bracelet doesn't do anything, and so we've basically got an empty slot, might as well, you know, just go for it. Yeah, giant ghosts really aren't that difficult. The worst thing is that they charge really fast, and if he's off screen and you didn't see him, you could be in some trouble. But yeah, up there you of course see a life max up that we can't get. And here we have a lizard man. And he's, you know, kind of an issue if you're not careful. Because he will stab you. You have to hit him and then back away fast. But we get a heart max up and we come to a locked door that we won't be able to deal with for a while. So remember where that is. You know, it's a Metroidvania. You have to remember a lot of things for backtracking. And just whack. Anyway, so we come back here, and down there, that's another fist. So if we got it here, it would just be a big heart. So we kill this guy, and now we go down. And let's see. Yeah, it's going to take a little while. Like I said, this is going to be a longer episode than normal, maybe even double length. Now we are in the Shrine of the Apostates, which has the same music, and I'm getting the Bible, because Ice Bible is really nice. The Bible is not the one I'll use later in the game. My go-to weapon at the end of this is something else completely. But for early game, when all I've got is ice, you bet I'm gonna stick with the Bible. So, you know, we dash forward and kill the lizard man. You know, just hit him. And you dash in and out. Now we can't get there yet because we can't slide. But if we come here, we can get an opal. That's, you know, that does some nice... we can sell those later. And of course we kill him, and we come here, and we get another drumstick. These things heal you for like about 50, I think. I don't use them very often, so I'm not entirely sure. And we come this way, and we get a victory armor. Ow! Ow! Okay, now you remember I said Ice Bible was really nice? Okay, first of all, I've got to use a potion, or just to... because I don't have enough... Yeah, that's Ice Bible. Oh, sorry about that. So, Ice Bible! Okay. He does that. And then he's going to throw his sword. Ow! Ah, dang it. And then he uses that to fire. Now he'll do the stab. And then he'll throw his sword. Watch out, and then he'll do the fire thing. So what I'm going to do is basically spam Ice Bible at him until he dies. They give a significant amount of experience because you're not really supposed to be able to kill them yet. But we come up here. Now luckily, because he was basically a mid-boss without credit, he won't respawn. And we get the energy circle. Now, with that, that's a tip for your whip, much like the red stone. But what it does is basically, if you hold down the attack button, you just spin the whip in a circle as if you were, without having to move it around using the control stick. A lot of people think it's useless, but actually there is one fight where I find it very useful indeed. Ow. Jerk. So, you know, I think it's a good thing. So anyway, we're gonna go back up here first. Well, actually what we're gonna do first, we're gonna come down this way. Ow, jerk. Yeah, just... Now, the thing with the forward lunge, the reason you have a forward lunge as opposed to just a backward lunge is so that you can make up the distance that you lost back dashing. But it also very much helps with it as a means of locomotion. Ow. Jesus. Ow. Yeah. If you're better than I am, you will get through this without taking much damage. I kind of suck right now. But that's okay. We're going to hit, you know, I'm going to take another potion. Good. And nothing here, so we go down. I said down. And we come into this, you know, watch out for lizards, because there will be lizards, and of course there are bone pillars. You want to watch out for them, because the bone pillars at this point can ruin your whole day. They are really, really powerful. So, you know, just get in there and thwack them. Now, of course, you do have a little extra range on them, so that can be nice. But for the most part, really. And sometimes you just Sometimes you just run into them like an idiot, but sometimes you just want to just ignore them because there's no real point to fighting them. Ah! Really? I did not mean to fall off. Just kill this guy. Now, don't fall down, because that lizard will respawn, and you don't want that lizard to respawn. You've got something very important to take care of over here. Okay, that's the cross. The cross is a really nice weapon. Ice cross is okay. It basically is a turret that fires usually at your enemy. Sometimes it's not as accurate as it could be, and I like Ice Bible for its ground clearing of things. But here we have the white dragon, and he will spit fireballs at you, but if you just stand there and keep whipping him, you'll kill the fireballs as they come out of his mouth, and the ones you don't get will be, go harmlessly over your head. And so not only do you get a level up from killing him, you get a life max up. So we come this way, and we get a little more plot. Maxim, are you alright? Juste? Is that you? I'm glad you are alright. What's wrong with you? Standing around in a daze leaves you vulnerable. I think I have been in this castle before. What did you say? I can't clearly recall, but I think I've been here before. Your memory is coming back to you? It seems so. I've been feeling strange since coming to the castle. If we continue a little farther, perhaps I may be able to recall something. Come on, let's go together, Maxim. No, if we're going to find Lydie, we must separate. We'll cover more ground. Yes, you are right. Be careful, Juste. Watch your back too, Maxim. So he runs off. And we're going to follow him because wherever he went, we've got a save point. So I'm going to call it a day here, and next time we get to go fight another boss. Thank you for joining me, and you have a pleasant day. Goodbye.